Today we're here at the Mount of Olives, at the base of the Mount of Olives at the Garden of Gethsemane, where Jesus suffered his agony. So let's look at a little bit of background and set the scene. Okay, there's only one passage in the Bible that makes reference to Jesus singing. In the Gospel of Matthew, we read that after finishing the Passover meal, Jesus led his apostles out to the Mount of Olives, singing joyful songs. Jesus is about to begin his passion, and he knows it. On his way to the Garden of Gethsemane, he leads his apostles in joyful song. Incredible. Jesus knows the agony he will soon experience. He knows the suffering that is soon to come. But Jesus also sees the eternal picture. He knows the souls that will be saved. He knows there will be a resurrection. He knows that in the end, life triumphs over and death is defeated. But first, he must suffer. So let's listen as I read from the Gospel of St. Matthew. Then Jesus came with them to a place called Gethsemane, and he said to his disciples, Sit here while I go over there and pray. He took along Peter and the two sons of Zebedee and began to feel sorrow and distress. Then he said to them, My soul is sorrowful, even to death. Remain here and keep watch with me. He advanced a little and fell prostrate in prayer, saying, My Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me, yet not as I will, but as you will. When he returned to the disciples, he found them asleep. So he said to Peter, So you could not keep watch with me for even 1 hour? Watch and pray that you may not undergo the test. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Withdrawing a second time, he prayed again, My Father, if it is possible, that this cup pass without my drinking it, but your will be done. Then he returned once more and found them asleep, for they could not keep their eyes open. He left with them and withdrew again and prayed the same thing a third time. Then he returned to his disciples and said to them, Are you still sleeping and taking your rest? Behold, the hour is at hand when the Son of Man is to be handed over to sinners. Get up, let's go. Look, my betrayer is at hand. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
The greatest desire of Jesus is to save souls. Yet 3 times he asked his Father, Can you take this chalice away? He had decided that, has he decided that the suffering is too much? Is he trying to get off the hook? Certainly not. In his humanity, Jesus would suffer greatly. In his divinity, Jesus could see all the suffering ahead of time. Jesus could also see how many souls would be lost in spite of the suffering. And this was his greatest agony, the loss of souls. He was offering his very life to save souls, all souls, and yet many would refuse this great gift and would choose to go to hell. So Jesus thirsts for souls, for your soul and for my soul. He does not want to lose even one soul. It was so painful for Jesus to see how many souls would be lost that Jesus says to the Father, Can you take this suffering away? This is not a request to be excused from suffering as much as a statement of his frustration. 3 times Jesus asked the Father to take away this bitter cup. 3 times Jesus follows this request by saying, Not my will, but your will be done. Doing the will of the Father. Isn't this what Jesus talked about more than anything else during his public ministry? And at this key hour, the moment of truth, Jesus will again do his Father's will. Thank you.
Amen.
All right, let us.